What's up guys, it's Axiom the Good Time Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at the recently redesigned and changed Technician tree in Payday 2. Now, update 100 has arrived and there's been some big changes, and the Technician tree has probably got the most changes of them all. Which, if you've been playing this game for any amount of time, you probably know that the changes were very much needed. Very much needed. So we're going to take a look at all the skills in the Technician tree, see what's changed, see what's good, what isn't so good, and really take a look at this stuff and see how awesome Technician has become. And boy, it's become awesome. We'll start over here in the Engineer section of the Technician tree, because I think it's honestly the most exciting. So, Tier 1 of Technician, we have Third Law. The cost of deploying a sentry gun is reduced to 56%. Now that cost, that 56% number, is of your entire ammo supply. So if you have 100% of your ammo, you can put down one turret with this, okay? If you choose to ace the skill, then you'll get a protective shield attached to your sentry gun, much like the one from the base game. I find the shield to be pretty useful, and for the amount of points that you need to spend to get it, it's not that bad, so I go ahead and ace that one. In Tier 2, we have Sentry Targeting Package. The basic version makes so that your sentry guns gain a 100% increase in their accuracy. If you choose to ace it, your sentry gun's rotation speed is increased by 150%. Your sentry gun also will have 50% more ammunition. The basic version of this one is absolutely 100% necessary. This will make it so that if you choose to use AP slugs, they'll be much more accurate. If you just do the regular, rapid fire on your turrets, that works too. But definitely take the basic of it. I find the ace version to also be incredibly useful because it'll allow sentry guns to be able to turn around really quickly and get enemies behind them or to the side. And then also the extra ammunition in them also helps keep them shooting for much longer. So I find this to be very good skill. Next up, we have Eco Sentry. The cost of deploying a sentry gun is reduced to 48%. Acing it will make it so that your sentry gun has 150% increased health. Now the basic version is definitely worth it, because with this you'll be able to drop 2 turrets in a row before you need to get ammunition to drop any more. With this skill you'll be able to deploy all 4 turrets if you use both your secondary and your primary weapons. So definitely take the basic. As far as the ace version goes, I don't really find a whole lot of use for it. I've done several games now on Death Wish with the turrets and without having the extra 150% health, and I don't really notice any problem with them dying or anything like that. I mean, yeah, they'll die kind of here and there, but it's not a big problem at all. So I don't really think the points there are worth it. If you really want to be safe with your turrets, then I would say go ahead and ace it, but I'm not really a big fan of acing it. Moving into Tier 3, we have Engineering. You can now select a less noisy version of the sentry guns, making them much less likely to be targeted by enemies. If you ace it, you'll be able to toggle AP rounds on your sentry guns, lowering the rate of fire by 75%, but increasing damage by 250%, and allowing it to pierce through enemies and shields.
Fucking bolt! Only open the good ones, yeah? For sure.
As far as the AP slugs go, they are very effective. They're very strong. They make a really nice, satisfying sound whenever they shoot, especially whenever you get 4 of them just like going at it all at once. Oh my gosh. It's like a bloody sound orgy in your ears. It's wonderful. They're very damaging. They pierce enemies, they pierce shields. They will just fuck up anything that comes rolling through the hallways. So I definitely love the ace version. As far as using the secondary turrets, so the less noisy one that don't get shot at by enemies, for me, like, the turrets are kind of, one of the big appeals is that they really take the heat off of your teammates. So not only do they shoot things, but they're drawing fire in 4 different directions. So I don't really want a less noisy turret. I want to fucking let everybody on the map know that Axiom's turrets are on the ground and they're going to ruin your day. So basic is not really so useful, but the AP slugs definitely nice. Next up, we have Jack of all trades. You deploy and interact with all deployables 50% faster, and if you ace it, you can now equip a secondary deployable to bring with you. If your deployable is equipped as a secondary deployable, you can only bring half of what you would bring if it was equipped as a primary deployable. So what this means is that you can, for example, take your 4 sentry turrets. So if you would normally have 14 first aid kits, if you have all the skills for that, you'd only have 7 if it's equipped as your second deployable. The basic version of this I find to be helpful because it helps cut down on the time it takes for you to pull out your sentries and put them back down. So that's definitely handy. Acing it's kind of debatable. I've been acing it taking a ammo bag as my secondary, but so far I haven't really had any ammo issues with that, and I haven't had to really use it. If you have teammates that are bringing ammo, then you can probably save 6 points here, but it's not the worst idea in the world to go ahead and bring a pack of ammo with you, just for your turrets, just to keep them nice and safe, and keep it on shooting. Alternatively, you can also equip additional sentries to give you a total of 6 sentries that you can use and murder everything with. And if you thought 4 was crazy, try throwing down 6. The game gets stupid, stupid, stupid easy. The top tier, which is Tower Defense. Basic version allows you to carry 1 extra sentry gun. Acing it will allow you to carry 2 extra sentry guns for a total of 4 guns. But the turrets are still really powerful. Like super powerful. We're gonna take a look at some footage here of some heists I was doing last night with the turrets going, and it was just like, it was sex. Like, it was so good. Check this out. Starting off Oppressor, we have Steady Grip. The basic version will give you 8 more weapon accuracy. The Ace version will give you 16 weapon stability. Most weapons are fairly stable to begin with, so you probably won't need that. But as far as accuracy goes, most guns can benefit from a little bit more accuracy, so definitely worth at least the basic. And of course, you have to take it if you want to move up. In Tier 2, on the left, we have Heavy Impact. Your shots have a 5% chance to stagger all enemies except Bulldozers and Captain Winters. Acing will make it so that you increase your chance to stagger an enemy by 20%. So there's a chance that whenever you shoot somebody, then they might just kind of like stumble for a second and fall back to where you'll have an opening and keep on firing or kill them. Fire Control will make it so that you gain 12 weapon accuracy while firing from the hip. Acing it will make it so that your accuracy penalty is decreased by 20% while shooting and moving. So whenever you're moving and shooting, you lose a little bit of accuracy. This is going to help to kind of negate some of that. And then also if you're firing from the hip, you're going to get a little more accuracy on your shots. Most of the time I aim, but there are definitely occasions where I just fire from the hip, like with really high accuracy weapons or pistols, I just tend to fire from the hip. So, it can be helpful for there. I'm going to go ahead and just take Heavy Impact though, just to move us up. On the left, we have Lock and Load. You can now hip fire with your weapons while sprinting. Acing it will make it so that killing 2 enemies with SMGs, LMGs, assault rifles, or special weapons set on automatic fire mode will reduce your next reload time by up to 60%. This bonus is reduced by 1% for each bullet above 20 in the total magazine size, down to a minimum of 20% reload time reduction. So basically, the long way of saying that is that if you kill 2 guys and you go to reload, if you have more than 20 bullets in your magazine, then you're going to start to lose 1% of that 60% reload time. So let's say you have 25 bullets in your magazine, okay? You're going to lose 5% off of that reload time. However, though, even if you have, say, 100 bullets in there because you're using like an LMG, you'll at least have a 20% reload time reduction regardless of anything else. So basically, if you're going to use this skill, you want to make sure you 1, get 2 kills, and 2, try and have less than 20 bullets in the magazine. That way you can get a much quicker reload. So be mindful of that, guys. Also in Tier 3, we have Surefire. Your SMGs, LMGs, and assault rifles gain 15 more bullets in their magazine. This is not stacked with Lock and Loaded Ace skill. Acing it will make it so that your ranged weapons can now pierce through enemy body armor. It does not apply to throwables. So the Ace version basically is what used to be part of Silent Killer in the old game. Because I believe it was Tier 2 of the Professional would allow you to pierce through enemy body armor. That's basically now over here as part of Surefire. So if you're looking for that skill, well, here it is. Basic version, you know, definitely cool, definitely great. I like that. 15 more bullets is always a good thing. Being able to pierce through enemy body armor, kind of worthless. It's really only beneficial against the tan swats. So in most cases you won't need it and you're aiming for headshots anyways, but I probably wouldn't take it though, to be honest. You need to be focusing on going for the head and aiming high and not relying on body shots. Last but not least, in Tier 4 we have Body Expertise. So this is a pretty sweet skill here. Alright, basic version makes it so that 18.75% from the bonus headshot damage is permanently applied to hitting enemies on the body. This skill is only activated by SMGs, LMGs, assault rifles, or special weapons fired in automatic fire mode. If you ace it, that bonus jumps up to 62.5%. Pretty damn good. Now, that may be a little confusing, but basically this is how it works, guys. With every enemy in the game, there is a bonus for shooting them in the head, right? So if you go for a chest shot, it's not doing as much damage as if you go for the head, okay? And every enemy has a multiplier with that. So like, you know, you might get like 1.5 times damage if you nail them in the head, okay? This is a little bit confusing, so let's just try and break it down in an easier to understand way. If the headshot multiplier on an enemy is, say, 2 times, 62.5% of that damage is going to be applied to the body instead. Now, at first that might sound like it's really shitty, but it does actually have some applications. Using it with, like, say, an LMG, for example, will cause you to gain quite a bit of damage, because LMG rounds are typically lower damage, but they trade that low damage by having higher fire rate. A weapon like a sniper rifle won't really benefit because you'll probably one-shot the target anyways. But for lower damage weapons, it's actually not terrible, and you can make it work fairly well. Alright guys, last but not least, we come to Breacher. The first skill in Breacher is Hardware Expert. You fix drills and saws 25% faster. Drills and saws are also silent. Civilians and guards must see the drill or saw in order to become alerted. Acing will make it so that your drills and saws have a 10% chance to automatically restart after breaking. Now, whenever it says saws, it's not referring to the Enforcer saw. It's referring to the saw you use on certain missions. Like, for example, on Aftershock, you have to use the saw to get inside those little armored cars. That would be an example of a saw. Also on, what's the other one? Goat Simulator, you have to cut down a goat that's on top of like a light post. That would be another example of that. So already right off the top, the basic version is making it so that you fix drills faster and they're also silent. So nobody's going to have any loud ass drills anymore, which can be fantastic. Alright, in Tier 2 we have Combat Engineering. The radius of your trip mine explosion is increased by 30%. Acing will make so that your trip mine damage is also increased by 50%. So pretty self-explanatory there. Drill Sergeant. Drill Sergeant, it's a sergeant. Basic version makes it so that your drill install timer is decreased by 15%. If you ace it, your drill install timer is decreased by an additional 15%. Tier 3, we have more firepower. You gain 1 more shape charge and 4 more trip mines. Acing it will give you 2 more shape charges and 7 more trip mines. Now, with this one, shape charges and trip mines are actually 2 separate things. You don't have to spend your trip mines anymore as shape charges. That'll mean that you have more trip mines to blow shit up with and cause all sorts of mayhem. Also, we have Kickstarter, which is actually pretty awesome. Your drills and saws gain an additional 20% chance to automatically restart after breaking. Here's the fun part, okay? If you ace it, it enables the ability to reset a broken drill or saw with a melee attack. The ability has a 50% chance to fix the drill or saw. The ability can only be used once per time the drill or saw is broken. So you can literally like punch or kick the drill, or like throw something, hit it with a hammer or something, and there's a 50% chance it might just restart by itself, which I think is amazing. And last but not least, we have Fire Trap. Your trip mines now spread fire around the area of detonation for 10 seconds in a 7.5 meter diameter. If you ace it, the fire duration is increased by 10 seconds, and it also increases the fire effect radius by 50%. So you're looking at 20 seconds of just fiery glory around where you had a trip mine at, so you can lock down a door even after the mines have all been triggered. One word of caution though with fire traps. The fire traps will deploy their fire from the center of the trip mine. So if you say, for example, put your trip mine in the middle of the floor, then from the center point there, this fire is going to spread out from around it. If you set it against a wall or you mount it on something like that and you shoot it, as you can see here, some of your fire is going to get lost inside of the wall. It's not going to be like the entire radius. So be kind of aware of this if you're wanting to use these things to lock down certain areas, or you want to kind of put down a trap and then like somebody comes walking through it, they're going to get like lit up and set on fire. There's a chance that depending on how you set it against the wall, your flames may end up inside of the wall and it may not even hit anybody, or it may only get a small portion of the room. As far as what's actually good in Breacher, most of the skills really have their uses. I think probably for the hardware expert, you can just get away with taking the very basic version of that. If you're looking to reduce drill install times, I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory that you want to take Drill Sergeant. Combat Engineering, definitely worth doing and acing that. Damage increase is definitely a good thing. More firepower, you obviously want that if you want to use trip mines, because you want as many as you can. Kickstarter, you know, for 3 points, it's okay. It's kind of more of like a gimmick skill, I feel like, because I mean, it's not really that much more difficult just to go and fix the saw yourself. It won't take that much time. It's a fun skill. It's kind of gimmicky. If I'm going for like a min-max type build where I'm wanting to like be super efficient with everything, then I don't really think that I would take it. But if I'm just going for like a standard build, like, you know, I don't really give a shit when I'm bringing too much, then I'd probably go ahead and take it. So and obviously Fire Trap, you're going to want that, because that's like fiery glory. Everybody likes fire in this game. Fire kicks ass. Now real quick before we end, I want to go ahead and show you guys where some skills have kind of been moved to that used to be in the old technician tree. So if you guys are looking for Rifleman and the associated skills like that, those are actually over here now in Mastermind under the Sharpshooter tab. You will find Rifleman is still here. It's basically same as what it was before as far as dealing with like the zoom levels and that kind of stuff. It's not really that much more useful now than what it was back then, but it does exist. And if you're looking for single shot accuracy, then you can get that right here with the marksman skill. So they give you 8 weapon accuracy with all SMGs, assault rifles, and sniper rifles fired in single shot mode. So that is where that stuff has been moved to. So if you're looking for that, go to Sharpshooter. If you are looking for the old armor skill, the one that was at the very top of Technician, probably one of the only good skills in there, that is now over here in Enforcer under the tank side. So you have to actually go to the very top of tank, and the first basic version of Iron Man, you get total armor value 30% increase. So the very first rank of Iron Man, you get 30% increase on your total armor value. That is basically the equivalent of the skill you used to have over in Technician. If you're looking for defense against tasers, that is now over in Artful Dodger under the Ghost Tree. It is in the 3rd tier, and it is called Shockproof. Pretty similar to what it was before. When tased, shock effects a 30% chance to backfire. If you ace it, then you'll be able to free yourself from the taser by interacting with it within 2 seconds of getting tased. So you now have 2 seconds where you have to use your interact button in order to knock them back. So kind of handy, but probably not worth all the points for it. So yeah, guys, that's about the main big changes for Technician there. The suppressed sentry gun really isn't that much different from the regular one. I was personally hoping for something like, I don't know, different ammo type, like maybe fire or something like that. I don't know what I was hoping for. But it's not really that different. It's not really that great, honestly. I just prefer to use the regular one because I want it to, you know, draw a lot of heat, draw a lot of fire. But, you know, the suppressed one draws a lot of fire anyways, so I don't know. Some people might like it, but I'll just probably be sticking with the regular turrets. There we go, guys. That's Technician. Let me know what you guys think of the Technician redesign and of the turrets and the C4 trip lines. There were a lot of cool changes, a lot of different stuff going on in Technician now, and I have to say I really like the changes to Technician. It's pretty tits, not gonna lie. So this is actually a good time gaming. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like anything you saw today. Remember to always have a good time gaming.